Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Fang, just Fang, and I'm gonna bring this a video. And today we're doing an extra credits video. This is basically gonna be what you missed from Pirate101, kind of a recap from the past 3 years, I guess, because since 2018 there wasn't really a update until 2021. So I'm just gonna go through all the new updates. To get back for those old players or even like the Wiz players who haven't played in a while, just to see what's new in Pirate. This is an extra credits objective, so and I thought I'd twist it a little bit. It's kind of like describe the best ways to get back into the game if you've taken a break for a while. So basically I'm just going to give you some pointers of what the story is now and Pirate101's updates as a whole, and what to see in the future as well. If you want specifically a gear guide for all this new stuff, because Max usually Kane was the best, that is not the case anymore. Definitely watch my gear guide, very in-depth on everything. It's like 48 minutes. I'll probably link that in the description, but this is going to be purely a story and kind of how the updates are, what's going on with it, the frequency of them, and the future. So we are going to start out, and you'll probably see gameplay right now of, I think I made videos on everything except for Sinbad Part 1, so Sinbad Part 1 I'll probably just put something there, but let's go with this. So the first thing that we got was back in June 2021, which is Sinbad Part 1. This was very strange because the update beforehand was, it was October 2019, sorry, not 2018, and that was, I'm pretty sure, the Skeleton Key bosses. Yeah, so Black Annie Rackham and Blightbeard. So we hadn't got something for solid, basically 2 years. So with that, Sinbad Part 1. This was probably the smallest little update. It was like, it really wasn't too much. I remember this. Basically, all you do is Elbano, you talk to him in Avery's court, and you have to face a bunch of random enemies. And then after you face a bunch of random enemies, you find Crusher. Crusher's like the big bad guy for this one. And Crusher is inside like the, is it called Devilfish Hollow, I think? Just one of those random caves. It was really just like, we need to get something for pirates, so we're going to make a little tiny quest. And it was actually a side quest at the start. They eventually made it into main quest, but it was supposed to just be like a max level side quest. So that's kind of interesting. It was also cool because almost all the enemies were above level 70, which kind of hinted at a level cap increase, but obviously that hasn't happened yet, so. But yeah, so a quick gear thing. The only thing they added were these cool weapons. They were the boarding hooks. I'm pretty sure the boarding hooks are also from Wiz, so it might just be ported. Not 100% sure. But that's the only weapons. They didn't really add too much content, just kind of like going through. You'll do it once you're max. You just kind of go through and then you defeat Crusher, then you're good. And that's all we got for a year, again. So we had to wait a whole another year. And then after that year, we finally got something new. And I remember making this video because I was like so hyped about it. I think I made a collab with the Rookie. It was about the portal. And this is supposed to be like a weekly thing. You talk to Reginald P. Jowsley? I don't know. And basically what you do is he gives you a variety of enemies to defeat. The only time I ever did it was with the Rookie, and he had us defeat bosses from Valencia Part 2. So we just did that, and then I'm pretty sure it's like based on the levels, so then we did the max level one, and the fights were kind of lame, to be honest with you. It was really just like the Aztecosaur like arena, and then just some super high level enemies. I'm pretty sure some of the drops can be really good, and it does rotate. I don't know if it's weekly, but it's really not as cool as I wanted it to be, you know? It's kind of like a Skeleton Key boss, but nothing notable. And there was some interesting gear, like, I'm trying to see if I can find it on the patch notes. Yeah, there's the salty weapons. So they had Smoke Screen, Phase Field, Escape Bunker, and Leap Smash. Honestly, none of those I ever used because obviously I didn't do it, but they gave us a whole new vanity set. Well, I guess not vanity set, but the salty gear set. So a new look. So at least it was some content, but it wasn't a lot. And to wait a whole year for this was kind of disappointing. And this is obviously a side quest. This still is a side quest. It's more of like a side event. which is interesting. I've never really done it besides that video, but I'm sure people have done it. It seems kind of grindy though, so yeah, it says only one event is active per week. They rotate every Tuesday at 10:30 Central Time. That's very cool. But then, which is so cool, we had to wait all the way until August, so a whole nother year. And then we finally got to Sinbad Part 2, which Sinbad Part 2 is pretty good. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty good. So basically, Sinbad Part 2 is the Iron Lotus, and it is just this giant tower. And the actual gameplay is really just think of like Moo Manchu's sort of, kind of. But you do get the companions Elbono and Sinbad, which is very cool. So then they're not great, I don't think, but still cool. So you got a tower, and again, I'm not gonna do too much of a gear guide, but the drops are pretty good here. They're good for especially like your little eye patch slot. It could be very good. But basically in this one you talk to the Khan or whatever his name is. But basically all I know is you talk, and then you get Sinbad, and then you have to go to Sinbad Part 3, which is Wheels Within Wheels, but we're gonna still talk about this for a sec. So basically it's a tower. You get 3 types of drops, rings, amulets, and totems, and they all have tiers: copper, silver, gold. And it's really nice because you can just grind the first 3 floors for those, so the drops are really nice. That's mainly what I know about for these. But we got some new drops and some new looks. But yeah, basically the story here is, I'll just read it off the Final Bastion. That's what I'm reading it. The adventure continues as you head to the world of Mushu to find Sinbad. Elbono, looking to take revenge on his former captain, managed to find out more news about Sinbad's ship, the Chimera. He found that it has crashed in the ravaged valley in a nearby tower called Tomagoyaki Tower. To get there, you have to talk to Elbono in Avery's court, and that's about it. So basically, you're just trying to get Sinbad, and then you do successfully get Sinbad. But I think Sinbad Part 3 is where that lore shines. But let's check. So Sinbad Part 3 came out, oh boy. This one was a lot less of a wait. It was the final storyline update of 2023. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was later 2023. So we didn't have to wait that long between 2 and 3. And same with Tartarus. So it's good. Slowly but surely we're getting that, not having to wait a year for an update. So this is the story, the Sinbad storyline. It comes to the finale, because then we go to Tartarus. So you have to race towards the Ab the Liger before Claw gets it. Not Khan, Claw. In this one, it's pretty cool. You go through a bunch of Marleybone, which is cool, and you get to hear a bunch of old characters. I think you also get to go to Azteca, or like that little part, and go in the ruins for that. Yeah, the Tunnels of Darkness. That's pretty cool. The funny thing is there's no map for it. Like when you hit M, it just doesn't do anything because they didn't develop that. But yeah, then you go to the Temple of the Flaming Skull, and that's basically just Azteca sword arena again, but with the tiger guys. And then you eventually do defeat Claw, and then you have to do a bunch of random stuff in Marleybone. And with Marleybone, again, you get to hear a bunch of people's stuff. But then there's finally Wheeler's Lair, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of random fights, but then that final fight, which is going to be against Raisin Bran the Raven Lord. Just Rook but blue. And he's not the Rook, just one of them. I think Sam Johnson confirmed that in my interview, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, basically, you have to defeat him. He's just got that normal Rook kind of stuff with, like, he'll repel you and stuff, and if you shoot him, he'll do that aerial assault, whatever it's called. So it's not too bad of a fight. And the drops are actually pretty decent. I know the boots give you Plate Storm, which is pretty good. Everything else is kind of mid, I guess. But it could be okay. And those boots are actually dropped by Claw, which is nice. But for story implications, basically we learned that our parents from the Kane fight, spoilers, and when our parents were like, no, don't go to El Dorado, that's not true. That was an illusion. So it was a real red herring, I guess. They just did that so they could continue the storyline. To be honest with you, I'm going to be completely honest. So we're still going to El Dorado. That seems like the final point. It was just like, oh, they made it up, ha ha ha, blah blah blah. So then we finally go to Tartarus. Do I know why we're in Tartarus? Not really, to be honest with you. I think just to see our dead parents, but that doesn't really happen, I don't think. All I know is we have to help Orpheus with his beloved Eurydice. And Tartarus is great. It is a ported dungeon. This came out 2-3 months ago, so we didn't have to wait long for Tartarus. So that's good at least. There was a lot of cool things. You got to talk to Hades again. You got to talk to Death. You had to go to a new area, which is always cool. Even though there wasn't a skyway, it's still pretty cool. So not a bad dungeon at all. You get to see Cerberus, which is cool. You don't get to fight Hades like in Wiz, unfortunately, but still pretty cool. I think overall, a good dungeon. A little buggy, still a little bit buggy, but I remember in Test Realm it was so buggy. But the biggest reveal at the end of that, and also the gear is really good. Tartarus gear is like the best not crown gear right now, except for probably Privateer. I don't know. But anyways, we go to Vadima, or however you say her name, the witch doctor trainer, and she's like, "We're going to Krokotopia." So now I'm going to talk about Krokotopia. I know it wasn't too much of a lore thing, but that's roughly what all of the areas are. And now we're going to be going to Krokotopia. Now with Krokotopia, they confirmed that there's not going to be a skyway, so it's not going to be another world. It's interesting. It's going to be a few areas. The Armada is back. If you guys haven't seen the teaser, there is a teaser where it's a little bit of the Armada and they're in the Krokotopia world. I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. Would I rather have it be a skyway and a world, of course? But, I'm asking too much of Pirate. That's unfortunately how it goes. But I think it's going to be interesting. I would really hope for a level cap increase. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would drive more people who are max to play that. Because I know I only played both of them on my Privateer and my Musketeer. Because I didn't really feel the need to go further than that. Because I have maxes and I don't want to, just waste that quest. So I feel like that'd be really nice. But I don't think they'll do that. But overall, Pirate's been getting closer and closer to getting more and more frequent updates. It's not a world every half a year or whatever Wiz's is. I think it's once a year at this point. And there hasn't been a level cap increase since Valencia Part 2 with level 70. So Pirate's in a really interesting spot where they're getting updates now, but it's not consistent enough. It's interesting. But you should get back into it. If you have a max, just play through the rest of that story, so then you'll be able to play the Krokotopia when it gets out, and when they eventually raise the level cap, you'll be able to be on the forefront of that. Try it out, check it out. If you haven't played it, know that the game is getting updated, so it's not a bad time to get started on it. Obviously, it's not as consistent as Wizards, but it's something, okay? And by the way, sorry for a short and kind of inconsistent video. I just moved into my college dorm, and it's extremely hot in here, and I had to turn off the fan, so I'm dying. Longer and more, more in-depth videos coming soon. I'm sure when we get more Croc teasers, I'll be yapping about that for 30 minutes, but this is going to be the extra credits video. I hope you guys enjoy, and make sure to check out Pirate if you haven't. That's all my channel is. But I've been playing a lot of Wiz with Cowardly Kevin recently. It's been pretty good as well. I get in those Wiz eras, but Pirate's always a great game. So we'll look out for the Croc update, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.